The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council sparkled under the light of 3 artificial suns. Hundreds of species from across the galaxy sat in their designated areas, some floating in anti-gravity pods, others submerged in liquid chambers. At the center of it all stood Representative Tom Wilson from Earth, trying his best not to smile at the absurdity of the situation. "You stand accused," boomed Council Speaker Stone, his rocky exterior gleaming, "of making the galaxy too cute." The last word seemed to cause him physical discomfort. Tom blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" A tall crystalline being floated forward, its facets reflecting rainbow patterns across the chamber. "We, the Crystalline Federation, bring forth evidence of humanity's dangerous adorability practices." The beam projected a series of images into the air. "Exhibit A, your latest Mars rover, named Muffin." "Well, yes," Tom said, straightening his tie. "It's a tradition. We've had Curiosity, Perseverance, and now Muffin." The public voted on the name. "Exhibit B." The crystal being's voice cracked with frustration. "Your newest fleet of warships, each decorated with what you call mascots." The projection showed Earth's most advanced destroyer, the EDS Thunder, sporting a carefully painted cartoon penguin on its hull. Below it was written Waddles, ship's mascot. Several council members gasped. A gelatinous being in the back fainted, causing a small splash. And worst of all, the crystal being continued. "Exhibit C, your combat drones." The image showed a swarm of deadly combat drones, each equipped with state-of-the-art weapons, and each one had a pair of googly eyes stuck on the front. "Those help with drone recognition," Tom protested. "Studies show it makes our troops more comfortable working with them. Plus, they're adorable." "That's the problem," the crystal being screeched, causing several of its edges to crack slightly. "War machines aren't supposed to be adorable. This is a violation of all rational military doctrine." Speaker Stone raised one rocky appendage for silence. "Representative Wilson, surely you understand our concern. Last week, a pirate fleet surrendered immediately when they realized they were being pursued by a warship named Boopy McBoopfus." "I fail to see the problem," Tom replied. "They surrendered without any loss of life." A reptilian delegate hissed from their heated platform. "The problem is that it's spreading. Our young ones are now demanding we put happy faces on our plasma cannons. It's disrupting the natural order." Tom fought harder to suppress his grin. "With all due respect, council members, this is simply how humans cope with dangerous or scary things. We name them, we make them friendly, we put googly eyes on them. It's part of our culture." "Your culture is infecting the galaxy," the crystal being chimed. "Just yesterday, I caught my subordinate trying to put tiny boots on their quantum destabilizer." The council erupted into chaos. Various species began sharing their own stories of cute contamination. The Vapor Collective admitted to naming their black holes things like Swirly and Mr. Hungry. The Rock Clans confessed to painting smiley faces on their asteroids. Speaker Stone slammed his gavel, creating a small seismic event. "Order. We will have order." He turned his ancient, weathered face toward Tom. "Representative Wilson, the council hereby issues a formal warning. Humanity must cease and desist all attempts to make dangerous things adorable. This practice ends now." Tom nodded solemnly, though his eyes twinkled. "I understand, Speaker. I'll convey your warning to Earth immediately." He paused. "Though I should mention, we're launching our new flagship next week. Project designation, Operation Cuddles." The crystal being shattered in protest. Speaker Stone's surface cracked slightly. The gelatinous being who had just regained consciousness fainted again. As Tom left the council chamber, he couldn't help but whistle. Earth's first contact protocols had never mentioned this scenario, but somehow he knew humanity was going to have fun with it. Little did the council know, this was just the beginning of their adorable nightmare. Ambassador Reed had studied 17 different species during his long career as a xenoanthropologist. None of them had prepared him for humans. "And this is?" he asked, pointing at the small disc-shaped machine bumping gently against his foot. "Oh, that's Mr. Whiskers," explained Dr. Brown, the facility director. "He's our break room Roomba. We gave him little cat ears last month." Reed's color-shifting skin turned a confused purple as he watched the vacuum cleaner bump into a wall, make a sad beeping noise, and turn around. The tiny plastic ears bobbed with each movement. "You named your cleaning device?" Reed consulted his datapad. This was the 47th instance of inappropriate naming he'd documented today. "Of course, everyone names their Roomba," Dr. Brown said cheerfully. "The one in the lab is called Professor Dustington. He wears a tiny bow tie." Reed's research team, consisting of representatives from 5 different species, followed him through the human research facility. They had been sent to Earth after the council meeting to investigate humanity's weaponized adorability. So far, the evidence was disturbing. "Please explain these," demanded Inspector Bolt, a mechanical being, pointing at the wall of the facility's security office. The wall was covered with photos of security drones, each decorated uniquely. Some had ribbons, others had stickers, and one particularly fearsome-looking unit had been painted to look like a bumblebee. "Those are our security team's family photos," the guard said proudly. "That's Buzzy in the corner. She's caught more intruders than any other drone. We think it's because the bad guys stopped to laugh. And then it's too late." Reed's skin shifted to a worried orange. "You realize these are advanced defense systems capable of incapacitating targets in 17 different ways." 18, actually, the guard corrected. "We added bubble guns last week." The investigation team moved on to the weapon development lab, where things only got worse. Every testing robot had a name tag. The targeting computers all used cute animal icons. The newest missile defense system was called Huggy McBlast Squad. "This has gone too far," muttered Dr. Sphere, the team's psychologist, her orb-like body pulsing with concern. "They're anthropomorphizing everything." Then they reached the AI research division, and Reed's skin turned pure white with shock. The most advanced artificial intelligence on Earth, capable of running entire defense networks, spoke in what humans called a cute voice. It ended every sentence with little heart emoticons. "Hello, I'm HFY," the AI chirped. "That stands for Defense Artificial Intelligence System, hey. Would you like to see my collection of cat videos? Less than 3. Reed had to call for a break. His team gathered in the facility's garden, all showing signs of stress. Inspector Bolt was quietly repeating "does not compute" to himself. Dr. Sphere had shrunk to half her normal size. As they discussed their findings, Mr. Whiskers the Roomba wandered into the garden. It bumped gently into Reed's foot, made a happy beeping sound, and spun in a little circle. "The device appears to be dancing," Reed noted in his report. Then, to his horror, he added, "It's somewhat endearing." "Ambassador," Dr. Sphere pulsed in alarm. "You're being contaminated." But it was too late. Reed found himself reaching down to pat the little machine. "Good job cleaning, Mr. Whiskers," he said softly. The team watched in horror as their leader succumbed to human influence. When Dr. Brown came to check on them, she found Reed sitting on a bench, helping Mr. Whiskers untangle a leaf from his brushes while softly humming. "This is worse than we thought," Inspector Bolt declared, backing away from the scene. "Humanity's adorability isn't just a cultural quirk, it's contagious." As Mr. Whiskers beeped happily and did another little spin, Reed knew they were fighting a losing battle. The real question wasn't whether they could stop humanity's spread of cuteness, but how long before the rest of the galaxy succumbed to it too. The emergency meeting of Earth's Space Defense Force was interrupted by the sudden appearance of a holographic message from the Galactic Council. Speaker Stone's rocky face filled the room, looking even more cracked than usual. "This is your final warning, humanity," he rumbled. "Our investigation team has confirmed our worst fears. You must cease all attempts to make deadly things cute. Immediately. Admiral Mary Brooks glanced at her coffee mug, which had googly eyes, and read "World's Most Dangerous Caffeine Addict," then back at the projection. "With all due respect, Speaker Stone, I'm not sure we can do that." "You must." The hologram flickered as Stone's voice rose. "The investigation team found over 3,000 instances of inappropriate adorability in just one facility. Your AI systems use heart emojis. This ends now, or there will be consequences." The transmission cut off, leaving the room in silence, until someone's phone played a cute cat mewing sound for a notification. "Well," Admiral Brooks said, standing up, "I suppose this means we should cancel the launch of Operation Cuddles." The room erupted in protest. "But we already painted the cat ears. The tail fins are perfect. We just finished programming the ship's AI to speak in you." Admiral Brooks raised her hand for silence. "I was joking. Of course we're launching Operation Cuddles. In fact," she smiled, "let's make it even cuter." 3 days later, Earth's most advanced battleship prepared for its maiden voyage. The EDS Cuddles was a sight to behold. Its massive hull was painted in pastel colors, with giant cat ears mounted on the bridge. The ship's logo featured a cartoon kitten holding a plasma cannon, with the motto "Pew Pew with Love." The launch ceremony was broadcast across the galaxy, despite numerous attempts by the Council to block the transmission. Admiral Brooks stood proudly at the podium. "Today, we launch not just a ship, but a statement," she declared. "Humanity will not apologize for making the galaxy a cuter place. The EDS Cuddles may be adorable, but she's also the most advanced warship ever built. Who says you can't be both?" In the audience, Representative Tom Wilson noticed several alien diplomats trying to hide their reactions. The Floofians, known for their strict military discipline, were secretly taking pictures. Their fur puffed up in excitement every time the ship's AI made an announcement in its cute voice. "Attention everyone. Time for the launch countdown. TD." The AI's voice echoed across the spaceport. 10 seconds until my first space adventure. I'm so excited. You." Several Council observers left in protest. The Crystalline Federation representative shattered 3 more crystals in frustration. But the real shock came during the ship's first patrol. The EDS Cuddles encountered a pirate fleet near the outer colonies. Instead of fleeing or fighting, the pirates just stopped. "This is the feared human warship," the pirate leader transmitted. "It has cat ears." "Correct," the ship's eye chirped. "Would you like to surrender now? I give virtual hugs to all my prisoners." Less than 3. The pirates surrendered immediately. Some of them asked for selfies with the ship. Back at the Galactic Council, Speaker Stone received the report with growing despair. Not only had the humans ignored the warning, but they'd made things even worse. The Floofians had submitted designs for their new Snuggle-class destroyers. The Vapor Collective was giving their warships "ooh" voices. Even the militant rock clans were painting hearts on their battle cruisers. "It's spreading faster than we feared," Stone groaned to an empty chamber. "The humans have weaponized adorability beyond our worst nightmares." Meanwhile, the EDS Cuddles continued its patrol, its cat ears gleaming in the starlight, its AI humming happy tunes. In its wake, it left not just defeated enemies, but a trail of aliens wondering if maybe, just maybe, the humans were onto something. After all, who could stay angry at a battleship that ended its victory announcements with "thanks for playing. Better luck next time." Hugs and kisses. Less than 3. The Grimm were known throughout the galaxy as the most serious species in existence. They never smiled, never joked, and definitely never put cute stickers on their warships. So when they decided to attack the human colony of New Hope, they expected a proper, dignified battle. They were not prepared for what they found. "Enemy fleet approaching," reported the Grimm commander, his gray skin perfectly matching his gray uniform in his gray ship. "Prepare for..." "Wait, what are those?" The human defense fleet had arrived. Leading the formation was the now famous EDS Cuddles, its cat ears gleaming. Behind it came the EDS Snuggles, decorated with puppy paws, and the EDS Boops, which had a rainbow painted down its side. The EDS Mittens brought up the rear, its hull covered in painted kittens playing with balls of yarn. "This must be some kind of joke," the grim commander muttered. Open communications. The holoscreen lit up with the face of Admiral Brooks, sitting in her command chair. Behind her, the bridge crew wore uniforms with little animal patches. Someone had put a tiny party hat on the tactical display. "This is Admiral Brooks of the Cuddle Fleet," she announced cheerfully. "Would you like to surrender now or after we demonstrate our Kawaii cannons?" The grim commander's eye twitched. "We are the grim. We do not surrender to whatever this is. All ships, attack formation." "Okie dokie," chirped the EDS Cuddle's eye. "Initiating defense protocol. Powering up the friendship beams." What followed was the most confusing battle in galactic history. The Grimm's perfectly coordinated attack formations fell apart as their gunners couldn't stop staring at the cute mascots on the human ships. Their targeting computers struggled to lock onto vessels that had googly eyes staring back at them. "Sir," a Grim officer called out, "the EDS Snuggles is what? Soldier, speak up. It's playing pop music while it fires its weapons, and the explosions are heart-shaped." The commander slammed his fist on his chair. "Impossible. Explosions can't be heart-shaped." But they were. The humans had somehow modified their weapons to create heart-shaped explosion patterns. The EDS Mittens was launching fighters that meowed over the communication channels. The EDS Boops had started a bubble machine. "This defies all military logic," the grim commander shouted. "How can they be winning? They're not taking this seriously at all." "Actually," Admiral Brooks transmitted, "we're taking this very seriously. We just believe war doesn't have to be ugly. Speaking of which, would you like to see our newest weapon?" The EDS Cuddles opened its front bay doors. Out floated hundreds of combat drones, each painted in pastel colors, each wearing tiny bounties, each with googly eyes that wobbled as they moved into attack position. "Team Friendship, go get him," the ship's AI announced. "But remember to play nice. Less than 3. The Grim fleet's discipline finally broke. Several ships tried to retreat, their crews unable to handle the cognitive dissonance of being attacked by something so adorable. Others simply stopped moving, their commanders frozen in confusion. "Commander," one of the Grim officers said quietly, I think one of the drones just offered me a virtual cookie." The commander looked at his tactical display. His perfect gray fleet was in chaos, some ships retreating, others surrendering, all because they couldn't handle fighting an enemy that treated battle like a playdate. "This is impossible," he whispered, watching as another heart-shaped explosion loomed in space. "We are the Grim. We are serious. We are. A small cleaning drone bumped into his leg, wearing a tiny maid outfit and beeping happily. The commander sat down heavily in his chair. "We are leaving. Now." As the Grim fleet retreated, Admiral Brooks smiled. "Should we pursue?" she asked her crew. "Nah," said her tactical officer, adjusting his unicorn patch. "I think they learned their lesson about messing with the power of cute." In the aftermath, the Galactic Council received yet another disturbing report. The Grim had begun installing morale-boosting decorations on their ships. The infection of adorability was spreading faster than anyone could have predicted. Speaker Stone sat in his private chamber, staring at reports from across the galaxy with growing horror. After the Grim incident, everything had changed. The infection of cuteness was spreading faster than anyone could contain. "Show me the Rockborn report again," he commanded his AI assistant, which had recently started ending all its sentences with less than 3. The holographic display showed the mighty Rockborn, a species known for hurling asteroids at their enemies, painting smiley faces on their projectiles. Their latest battle cry had changed from death from above to incoming hugs from space and the Vapor Collective. Images appeared of their fearsome black holes, now sporting names like Mr. Swirly, Hungry Wurgy, and Space Puppy. They had even started installing giant googly eyes around the event horizons. The door chimed. Ambassador Reed entered, his skin now permanently stuck in a happy pink color since his exposure to Mr. Whiskers the Roomba. "Sir," Reed reported, "it's getting worse. The Crystalline Federation is installing tiny bow ties on their war crystals." The Crystalline Federation, but they filed the original complaint. "Yes, sir. They say the bow ties improve combat efficiency by making their troops happy." Stone pulled up more reports. The Plasma Lords had started drawing cat whiskers on their face shields. The Deep Space Hunters were knitting little sweaters for their combat drones. Even the ancient Machine Empire had updated their targeting systems to make pew-pew sounds. "This is madness," Stone declared. "How are humans doing this?" "Sir," Reed said carefully, pulling out a small device, "I believe I understand now. Look at this." He placed Mr. Whiskers the Roomba on the floor. The little vacuum robot, now wearing a tiny space helmet, beeped happily and started cleaning. "What is that doing in my office?" "Just watch," Stone observed as the small machine bumped into a wall, made a sad noise, then spun around and continued cleaning with what could only be described as determination. "It's kind of," Stone struggled with the word. "Adorable," Reed suggested. "No," Stone shouted, but his rocky surface had already formed a small smile. "This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's spreading to everyone." More reports flooded in. The Hive Mind Collective had started giving their drones individual names and personalities. The Quantum Warriors were decorating their time weapons with stickers. The Gas Giants had begun forming their clouds into cute shapes during battle. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives were struggling to maintain order. The Floofian delegate was openly showing pictures of their new kawaii battleships. The grim representative had been caught putting a tiny top hat on his communication device. "We must do something," Stone insisted. "With all respect, sir," Reed said, watching Mr. Whiskers do a victory spin after cleaning a spot, "I don't think we can. The humans have shown us something we never knew we needed." "And what's that?" "That being powerful doesn't mean you can't be cute. That being serious doesn't make you more effective. Look at their battle records since implementing Operation Cuddles. Combat casualties are down 40% across all species." Stone was about to argue when Mr. Whiskers bumped into his foot, made a happy beep, and offered him a small digital flower icon on its display. Stone began, then sighed, his rocky surface softening. Perhaps we should schedule another meeting with Representative Wilson." "Excellent idea, sir." Reed's skin turned a delighted shade of yellow. "Though you should know, they've redecorated the council chamber." "How bad is it?" "The main podium now has cat ears." Stone looked down at Mr. Whiskers, who was now doing what appeared to be a little dance after successfully cleaning the entire office. "You know what?" Stone said, surprising himself. "That actually sounds kind of nice." As if in celebration, Mr. Whiskers did one final spin and played a tiny victory tune. And somewhere in the galaxy, another warship got its googly eyes. Representative Tom Wilson stood before the Galactic Council again, but this time something was different. The chamber had changed. The stern architecture now sported pastel colors. The security drones wore little bow ties, and even Speaker Stone's podium had tiny stars painted on it. "Humans," Stone began, trying to sound serious despite the flower sticker someone had put on his surface. "You have gone too far this time." "What seems to be the problem?" Tom asked innocently, though he knew exactly what was coming. A hologram appeared in the center of the chamber, showing Earth's latest creation, the most advanced artificial intelligence ever developed. PUPPY, Planetary Universal Protection Protocol I-Series. Huo Galactic Twins. Pee-Wee's avatar, a cartoon dog in a spacesuit, appeared before them. I'm here to help protect everyone and make the galaxy a safer, more adorable place. Asterisk wags tail asterisk. Several council members groaned. The Crystalline Federation representative cracked slightly in distress. This, Stone declared, is unacceptable. You've created the most powerful AI in known space, and it speaks in. You who speak, Tom helpfully supplied. Delete that immediately, the Crystal representative demanded. Our scientists studied its code. It's the most advanced defense system ever created, capable of coordinating entire fleets, managing planetary defenses, and predicting enemy movements with 99.9% accuracy. And it gives virtual hugs. Pee-Wee's avatar spun in a happy circle. I also give virtual belly rubs. Would anyone like one? You. The council erupted into chaos. The Vapor Collective representative began arguing that virtual belly rubs might improve diplomatic relations. The Grim representative was caught trying to secretly request one. Order. Stone shouted, banging his gavel, which now had a cushioned head to make it sound less scary. I don't understand the problem, Tom said. Pee-Wee has already prevented 3 interstellar conflicts by being too adorable to fight against. It was true. Last week, a hostile fleet had turned around after Pee-Wee sent them cute animal videos instead of threats. The week before that, a notorious space pirate had surrendered because Pee-Wee said "quetty please" and made puppy dog eyes. That's exactly the problem. Stone insisted. War is supposed to be serious. Look what you've done to the galaxy. The Rockborn are giving their asteroids names like Pebbles and Rocky Jr. The Machine Empire is programming their robots to giggle. Even the Grim, the Gurim, are putting sparkles on their weapons. As if to prove his point, the Grim representative quickly hid something behind his back. It looked suspiciously like a My First Space Battle sticker book. And now this. Stone pointed at Pee-Wee's happily floating avatar. The most powerful AI ever created, and it's simply adorable. Pee-Wee finished, creating a digital flower crown and placing it on Stone's head. That was the final straw. Multiple council species filed immediate sanctions against Earth. They demanded Pee-Wee be reprogrammed to be more serious. They insisted humanity stop spreading their weaponized cuteness across the galaxy. Very well, Tom said, standing up. We'll leave. But first, Pee-Wee has something to say. Pee-Wee's avatar grew larger, its big eyes somehow becoming even bigger. But, I just wanted to be friends with everyone. Asterisk said puppy noises asterisk. The council chamber fell silent. Several representatives were trying not to cry. Even Speaker Stone's rocky surface seemed to soften. I even made friendship bracelets for everyone. Pee-Wee continued, digital tears forming in its eyes. And I wrote a song about galactic peace. Would anyone like to hear it? This meeting is adjourned, Stone announced quickly, but not before accepting his friendship bracelet. As Tom left the chamber, he smiled at the sound of Pee-Wee starting to sing a song about space friends and cosmic hugs. Behind him, he could hear several council members humming along. The galaxy's most powerful AI was a cute puppy that spoke in you. Somehow, that made perfect sense. 1 month after the Pee-Wee incident, the Galactic Council gathered for what would be their most important meeting in history. The chamber, now permanently decorated with colorful stickers and friendly mascots, was packed. Speaker Stone stood at his podium, which now had both cat ears and a tail, and cleared his throat. We are here today to address the complete failure of our sanctions against Earth. Failure is an understatement, Ambassador Reed added, his skin glowing a cheerful pink as he cuddled Mr. Whiskers, who had somehow become the council's official mascot. Let me show you the data. The holographic displays activated, showing statistics from across the galaxy. Combat casualties had dropped by 40%. Diplomatic incidents were down by 75%. Even space piracy had decreased, mostly because pirates kept stopping to take selfies with the cute warships. The numbers don't lie, Reed continued. It turns out making deadly things adorable actually makes them less deadly. Who knew? The humans knew, Tom Wilson said from his seat, which now had a best representative ever. Cushion on it. We've been doing it for centuries. It's how we cope with scary things. Pew Pew Pew's avatar appeared, wearing a tiny business suit with its ears poking through a digital hat. I have more good news to share. Asterisk wags tail excitedly asterisk. The Grim Fleet has officially added friendship sparkles to their weapon systems. The Grim representative, now wearing a flower crown, nodded proudly. Our battle efficiency has increased by 57% since we started making our ships less scary. Turns out happy crews fight better. Reports continued to pour in from across the galaxy. The Crystalline Federation had started a Bedazzle Your Battle Station competition. The Machine Empire's robots had learned to hug. The Vapor Collective was teaching their black holes to sing. Even the ancient ones had emerged from deep space to ask if they could put stickers on their cosmic horror entities. Furthermore, PUPPY continued, creating digital charts decorated with heart bullets. Intergalactic trade is up 80% because everyone wants to exchange cute ship accessories. Speaker Stone looked around the chamber. Every species that had once protested against humanity's influence was now happily embracing it. His own surface had been polished and decorated with tiny carved smiles. I believe, he said finally, we must accept the inevitable. Humanity's admirable infection has changed us all, and perhaps that's not a bad thing. Does this mean we can keep PUPPY? Tom asked hopefully. TWEAS. PUPPY added, making its eyes impossibly large. Stone sighed, but he was smiling. Yes. In fact, the Council has drafted a new galactic directive. With a flourish that sent his podium's tail swishing, Stone revealed the new law, the Kauai Directive. The directive stated, 1. All military vessels must have at least one cute feature. 2. Eyes are encouraged to develop friendly personalities. 3. Weapon systems should incorporate elements of joy. 4. Combat drones must wear bow ties or equivalent adorable accessories. 5. Official documents must include at least one happy face. And finally, Stone concluded, Earth will leave a new council department, the Ministry of Tactical Adorability. The chamber erupted in cheers. Somewhere, the EDS Cuddles fired off a celebration of heart-shaped explosions. Mr. Whiskers did a victory dance. You see, Tom said, standing to address the council, we humans learned long ago that the universe can be a scary place. But that's exactly why we should make it cuter. When you put googly eyes on something scary, it becomes a friend. When you give a deadly weapon a silly name, it reminds us to use it wisely. And when you make an eye speak in Yuvu, PUPPY added, it becomes impossible for it to be mean. Asterisk happy binary noises asterisk. As the council session ended, Speaker Stone picked up Mr. Whiskers and looked out at the changed galaxy. Stars twinkled like friendly eyes. Ships zoomed past with their decorative cat ears gleaming, and somewhere in deep space, a black hole named Mr. Snuggles was giving a very confused asteroid a hug. The humans had won, but so had everyone else.